Aberdeen kick off the domestic season without their new captain and keeper for the second time around, Jim Leighton. His hamstring injury means Derek Stilley plays in goal. Brian O'Neill, bought from Celtic for £750,000, makes his competitive Aberdeen debut and takes over the captaincy. Alan Shearer's former strike partner Mike Newell is up front alongside Dean Windus, to the exclusion of last season's top scorer Billy Dodds. There's a big welcome back for Ian Jess, sold to Coventry for more than £1.5 million and bought back for less than half the price. The Aberdeen playmaker has his eyes on winning back a Scotland place. Kilmarnock fans will have to wait a little while to see Scottish international winger Pat Nevin in the blue and white stripes. He's on the bench alongside other new signings Martin O'Neill and Jerome Barai. But Martin Baker, bought from St Mirren during the summer, does make the starting lineup. And Ali Mitchell, who's on month-to-month contracts, takes the place of injured winger Alex Burke. 36-year-old skipper Ray Montgomery is beginning a testimonial season with the Rugby Park club. 10 weeks ago, he proudly lifted the Tennant Scottish Cup. The referee at Pittodrie is John Rowbottom from Kirkcaldy. And a reluctant spectator this afternoon, the new Aberdeen skipper Jim Leighton. Injury keeps him out. Aberdeen get the new league season underway against Kilmarnock. Both these flirted perilously with relegation at the tail end of last season. Both will be looking for a brighter start this time round. Flick on from Ali Mitchell, aimed at Jim McIntyre. Doing the covering is Tony Kumbwari. Mike Newell doing the chasing. Very physical player. He will pose problems for Ray Montgomery, but Newell penalised there for being a bit over-aggressive, a bit over-enthusiastic. A title winner with Blackburn 4 years ago. It's well won by Brian O'Neill. Billy Finlay for Kilmarnock. First time from Paul Wright, but that was well read by Jimmy Buchan. Gets past Gus McPherson, looking for some support. Ian Jess is alongside, and there he is. In from Zvetanov, that's Newell. And that's Mark Riley. Riley not 100% fit, but Kilmarnock desperate to have him at the heart of their midfield today. Here comes Russell Anderson. Joe Miller. First getting round Ali Mitchell, but not meeting the challenge of Martin Baker. Bernard taking a return from Jess. Kumbwari opening it out, shifting it left. It was Buchan. First time it was aimed at Windus, cut out by McGowan. Now Bernard has some room. Here's Jess. Your anticipation among the crowd. Struck it well, Ian Jess, but it never looked like hitting the target. But there was a real buzz went around Pittodrie. It was Windus who set him up, and he was always lining up for the shot at goal. And it was well read by Mike Newell. He's really going for everything at the moment. Time for Brian O'Neill. It's a lovely long ball, controlled by Buchan. Bernard in support. It's a pacey and lively start from Aberdeen. Anderson always keen to push forward. Ian Jess played it first time. Windus. Jess again, trying to work the opening. Won't quite run for him. Back from Montgomery and away from Lekovic. Well read by the Yugoslavian international. And Ian Jess showing such an appetite for the game in the early stages. Looking pensive. Lots of time for Paul Wright to take the ball down. Here's Bagan. Gus McPherson's outside him. There he is. Away from Brian O'Neill. Not the most dangerous of crosses. Zvetanov. Windus. Well tackled by Montgomery. Kevin McGowan. Nice first touch from Paul Wright. Here's McIntyre. Gus McPherson still up in support. Bagan, Wright in the middle. Ali Mitchell's there too. Now Bagan. Useful chance. And to say David Bagan is disappointed, doesn't quite cover it. Ball played in by McPherson. Cutting inside Svetanov. It broke for Began. He should have done better with this. Here's Baker. Nice turn. Wins himself some space. That's aimed for Riley. Might get a second chance too. Derek Stilley collects it. Almost the first real chance of the match for Kilmarnock. It was Martin Baker who played the ball in. And a slight slip there by Svetanov. There's Pat Nevin hoping to see some action later. Nice first time pass from Windus. Mike Newell makes the run. And Montgomery covers it. And wins the throw off McPherson. Bulgarian Svetanov. His fellow countryman Kiriakov is on the road to recovery, we hear, after hepatitis. Svetanov's cross, Joe Miller is there. And Martin Baker had to be decisive at the far post. Joe Miller's not the tallest, but he was lurking for this cross from Zenko Svetanov. Behind it goes for the corner. Joe Miller takes it, Kumbwari is there, he leaves it. Paul Bernard! Cleared by Began and offside against Aberdeen. Well, Billy Dodd, the way he played last season, might have expected a starting place after 24 goals, but the bench is as good as it gets at the moment. O'Neill keen to be involved in the build-up as well. Buchan, Jess, Windus, Jamie Buchan again, here's a chance. And it's saved by Lekovic. It's a disappointing effort that from Jamie Buchan. That was a real chance. Good positioning from the goalkeeper, but Buchan will feel he could have done a whole lot better than this. Bobby Williamson can't be happy with this. I'm sure he's looking for better distribution, better possession. Anderson trying to find a way past Paul Wright. Obstruction, it looks fairly accidental to be honest, but it's a free kick in an interesting position for Aberdeen. Wright and Riley in the wall. Jess and Miller share some thoughts about how this might go. There's the header off the bar! Brian O'Neill's header cannoning back off the crossbar, and Aberdeen so close to scoring just a couple of minutes from half-time. Ian Jess's curling free kicks have been causing problems. He really does deliver them well. He puts a great spin on them, tempting Lekovic to come, then curling it away. And this was a powerful header from Brian O'Neill. So close to goal number one for Aberdeen. Doing his defensive duties now. Mitchell and Riley, Baker. McIntyre is through here. This could be trouble for Aberdeen. McIntyre cuts it back. A cool head from Tony Kumbwari. Superb play from the Frenchman. And good play too from Jim McIntyre, sensing he could get there before Stilley. The game opening up now. Dean Windus is onside. What can he do? Good block by Lekovic. Chances coming thick and fast at the tail end of the first half. Here's Bernard. And saved by Drago Lekovic. Well, suddenly it's all happening. And that was a real opportunity through the middle for Windus. Tried to place it, Lekovic putting himself in just the right position. And the effort from Bernard well held. Jess finds Buchan. The half-time whistle might come too early for the Aberdeen fans. Here's Anderson. Can they strike? It's a hanging cross for Newell. Causes Lekovic problems. And away from McGowan. I think Lekovic looking for a free kick for the challenge by Newell. He's a big physical player. And Jess. Svetanov. And that should be Lekovic. Not enough pace on the cross. for the Aberdeen strikers. And that's half-time. And the last few minutes have certainly been entertaining. Aberdeen opened up in some style. Ian Jess running the show early on, looking very promising, very aggressive, very creative. And it was Aberdeen at the tail end of the half as well, who could well have scored the goal. But Lekovic and the crossbar stood in their way. Half-time at Pittodrie, it's Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0. Kilmarnock get the second half started. They'll be happy to have gone in at half-time 0-0. They survived a fair bit of Aberdeen pressure towards the end of that first half. He's got the sleeves rolled up, and I think he wants his players to do a bit of the same, Bobby Williamson. On from Bernard. Montgomery's header, taken on by Jess. The ball bottled up on the floor by Mark Riley. But the free kick given against Ian Jess for the challenge from behind on Riley before Riley grabbed the ball. There was the barge into the back of Mark Riley from Jess, and the decision looked about right. Riley's header. Here's Bagan. Foot on the ball, and here's Gus McPherson. This looks more interesting from Kilmarnock. Away from Bernard, and the push in the back from Mark Riley. But it was a good clearing header anyway from Bernard. He was in the right place at the right time as Gus McPherson played in the early ball. Good defensive qualities from Bernard. Windus has some time. Miller to Bernard. Windus. And he wins the free kick. Seemed like a late decision by John Rowbottom. Ray Montgomery's not too happy. There's the picture in the penalty box. Windus and Newell at the edge of it. Jamie Buchan on this near side. Bernard, Miller, Zvetanov, Anderson, all around. And it's the main man, Ian Jess, on the ball. He's been threatening almost every time he stood over a free kick. It's a lovely curling effort too, just a bit too high. He's looking very confident in these dead ball situations. This was curling and it was dipping, but it didn't quite dip early enough. And here comes the substitution the Kilmarnock fans have been waiting for. It's Pat Nevin, signed from Tranmere just yesterday, and he replaces David Bagan, who hasn't really made the impact he would have hoped for. And a big welcome from the Rugby Park faithful for Nevin. McIntyre's head. Tony Kompany's boots seem to be high there. Jess plays it square. Zvetanov. Mike Newell wants it, and that's who it's aimed at. It's a good run by Newell too. This could be trouble for Kilmarnock. And Martin Baker handled that situation well. He's only 23, but he has a lot of experience with St Mirren. He's also played for Scotland under-21s. And just when Newell looked threatening here, Baker was happy to let that ball run through. McIntyre, Mitchell's on the outside, and Mark Riley's in support as ever. Now Jim McIntyre has some room and some time. Mark Baker in support. No chances being taken by Russell Anderson. Past the midway stage in the second half as Martin Baker eyes up the throw-in. All right, looking to inflict some damage on his old team. McIntyre, a head flick. Here's Nevin. Well, that could have been an amazing start to his Kilmarnock career. Not too far away from a goal-scoring chance at the far post. Eventually, he was just too tight to the byline. It was held up well, cleverly by McIntyre, then the overhead kick, and Pat Nevin wasn't too far away at the far post. Meanwhile, Aberdeen make the change. It's Mike Newell who's practically run himself into the ground, and it's last season's top scorer Billy Dodds who gets a warm hand from the Aberdeen support. With that under control, finds Bernard. Joe Miller. And Russell Anderson. Billy Dodds is up ahead. But Anderson being forced back the way. Joe Miller deserting the right flank and finding Zvetanov on the left. Now Buchan, Windus and Dodds in the middle. Windus and Dodds have started last season so well. Lots of goals. Buchan wins the corner for Aberdeen. You can possibly see the family resemblance. His father, Martin Buchan, such a popular figure at Pittodrie in years gone by. Joe Miller with the corner kick. Kumwari was climbing high, but it was well seen by Lekovic. He finds Paul Wright. Wright does well. Gus McPherson will have to motor and does so against Joe Miller. Again, took a touch off Windus, and Pat Nevin well beaten by Zvetanov. Scrappy stuff. It's back with Kilmarnock again. Billy Finlay, Mitchell. Up ahead, Varay, Wright and Nevin. Back onto the favoured right foot. There is Varay with a chance! Aberdeen saved by the crossbar, and the Frenchman almost an instant hero. The Aberdeen defence not picking up Varay. He made a great run, he was onside, and what a chance that was. Back off the crossbar. Riley to Nevin. Chasing back was Windus. Did enough to put off Nevin, and Buchan took the ball. Jess is Rowson in the wide position. Anderson's with him. Now Jess again. Here is Russell Anderson. Aberdeen will try again with Jess and Billy Dodds! What a chance that was. Great save by Lekovic. Billy Dodds might have directed the header better. I'm sure he'll feel that. But Lekovic did all that was asked of him and saved well. It was a good ball in from Jess, flying header from Dodds, and the save from Drago Lekovic. Frenchman against Frenchman. Kumwari wins. Bernard looking for some movement up ahead. Dodds against McGowan. No frills from Kevin McGowan. Happy to win the ball and put it out. Jess. Well, that's a good turn by Windus. And the free kick goes Windus' way. And John Rowbottom not happy either with the challenge from Ray Montgomery. In from behind on Windus. He wins the free kick. And another yellow card. And Montgomery's booked for that. Lekovic making sure that this wall is expert. They've placed him hammering home the point there to his defenders. Over the ball, Buchan and Jess and Windus. Aberdeen will want to make this count. Billy Dodds is in the wall, up ahead. Ian Jess looks favourite to strike it at the moment. Into the wall it goes, and Kilmarnock survive. Hammered away by Paul Wright. Not Ian Jess's best free kick of the match. Here's Buchan. That's aimed at Rowson. It's a high hanging ball which Martin Baker was able to get in the end of. Here's Jess. Montgomery cut that out. It was aimed at Windus. Bernard. Jess. Almost running again for Ian Jess. He tried the back heel looking for Rowson. Why he knocks it downfield again. Head flick from Rowson and from Windus. Nobody there for Aberdeen. Away from McPherson. Paul Wright's header intercepted by Zvetanov. Takes a return from Bernard. Plenty pace about Aberdeen at the moment. Here's Buchan with Dodds and Windus in the middle. Here's Billy Dodds. Charged down well by Montgomery. Anderson does well to keep possession. It's to Rowson. Shooting chance for David Rowson. And a fine save by Drago Lekovic. He really has been a hero for Kilmarnock in the last 5 minutes. First the save from the Dodds header, and then this save from David Rowson. He worked it onto his left foot. It was squeezing in at the post. Well saved. We've played 90 minutes into stoppage time, which John Rowbottom adds on. Well won by Rowson. Jess competing against Findlay. The pass from Dodds for Buchan. No support for him. It's 1 against 2. Nevin and McPherson in front of him. Effectively leaves it for Pat Nevin. Findlay looking from Varai. Brian O'Neill happy to turn it out for the throw. Doesn't want to make a mistake at this stage of the game. McPherson for Wright and Varai. Well, he's certainly ambitious. His pace took him away, won him some space, and just when Aberdeen were expecting the cross or the cutback, he just had a shot towards that far post. And that's the last action of the match at Pittodrie, and it finishes goalless, despite the best efforts of Aberdeen captain for the day, Brian O'Neill, whose header cannoned off the bar in the first half. And in the second half, the Kilmarnock substitute, the Frenchman, Jérôme Varai, he had a shot against the bar as well. But the saviour, the real saviour for Kilmarnock this afternoon, against some good Aberdeen chances in the second half, Drago Lekovic. And in this league opener, it's finished Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0.
Happy all round, Rob, as you say. Defensively we done quite well, and I thought the back four played well, but not only the back four, we done well in all the areas of the field today.
Aberdeen looked like a fairly difficult combination to deal with their new signings, looking a strong side.
Yes, it looked not too bad at all, so they're doing, they caused us a little bit of problems, you know, but we just had to soak up the pressure, and I felt that we done that pretty well.
Pat, were you disappointed not to be on from the start today?
No, I talked to the manager the other day, and it's been a mad few days, a mad 48 hours for us. Just about got enough sleep for one day out of the last 3, so I was happy just to go on at some point and try and get used to the pace of it all. Most important point is the result for us today, and I suppose getting anything up here is always a good thing, you know.
What did you think of the quality of the game?
It was quite good actually. A lot of everyone talks about down south about the fact that it's just kick and rush up here, and that was nonsense. So a lot of decent play today. Everyone wanted to get down and play. I was impressed with a few Aberdeen players. Ian Jess, I think, had a nice comeback. But looking at the Kilmarnock team, I think worked very, very, very hard, and I think that's obviously the way it's going to be. If away from home, you need to work very hard to get anything.
Ian, how happy were you with your first game back in part 2 of your Aberdeen career?
Quite happy with my own performance and the team performance. I think the result was a bit disappointing, sort of being 0-0 with the chances we created, but it's a clean sheet, so we'll just have to sort of take the positive sides from the game.
The result probably didn't reflect the game, because Aberdeen looked pretty good, I would have said, apart from maybe the cutting edge.
Yeah, I mean we played some nice football there. That's what we're going to be doing. We're playing entertaining football, and we created a lot of chances. Probably the most chances we've created in a game so far since the pre-season, and let's say we'll take the positive side of things, that we haven't conceded a goal as well.